This week on Full Circle Florida, will the Democrats replace Joe Biden or will they stay the course? Can Biden recover from a bad debate? And should Donald Trump be overly confident, or will this race now be less about the flawed candidates and more about the important issues? Our panel is here to sort through what just became a much more confusing race. Flipping Florida, the Democrats say they have a chance in the land of sunshine, but do they? We'll get into it. Plus the raise and the deal and why perfect may be the enemy of good in the city of St. Petersburg. Axios reporter Jacob Reyes is here with brand new reporting. And did voters just send a moderate message to politicians this election year? The Trump-backed candidates who were defeated this week and the Democrat who lost in New York. What we learned from this week's primaries. Rick Klein joins us with the big picture from Washington. But let's get right to the biggest story of the week, Debate 1. Welcome to Full Circle Florida, everyone. As you meet our panel, she is our political analyst, the distinguished USF professor, Dr. Susan MacManus, and he is the founding director of the Center for Sustainable Democracy and a communication professor at USF, Joshua Scacco. Okay, did the Democrats just lose this election in June? Is there any chance President Biden and his team can recover from this?
It's going to be very difficult. The old saying of first impressions are lasting impressions. So many people tuned in just to see if Biden could have a repeat of the State of the Union, and within a few minutes it just disintegrated. And the evening was not a positive one for Joe Biden.
Absolute disappointment, I would say, for the Biden team. If you look at the number one concern that voters cite over and over and over again in public opinion surveys, it's concerns about Joe Biden's fitness and age. And the debate was one of those opportunities, first impression, to be able to mitigate that, and they did not meet that goal going into it.
Do they replace Biden, and how exactly would that even happen? At the convention, that seems chaotic.
A lot of pressure today.
Right.
But of course the White House digs in and says no way he's going to be the nominee. It could be done at the party convention. It would take a lot of releasing of delegates. Many are hoping that if there is to be a change, that Biden is the one who initiates it, comes on and says, I realize my health isn't what it needs to be, and for the good of the country, I've decided to step down and not run again. And then the party would do well to pass it to someone from a younger generation.
Can they, 130 days and counting, Joshua, the clock is ticking. I mean,
yeah, I don't necessarily want to get into speculation,
Yeah.
but I think 2016 is an interesting point. After the Access Hollywood tape comes out, similar calls in the Republican Party. It's much later in the campaign, it's September, October. Similar calls for Donald Trump to step aside, and it didn't happen. And so I think the key thing is it's possible, but it's difficult in a lot of ways to change this horse.
who would even be the horse, so to speak? Who would parachute into this?
Well, there's all kinds of polls out there today on social media.
Yeah.
The names that we see in the polls so far: Hillary Clinton,
Okay.
obviously the governor, Gavin Newsom, governor of Michigan, Gretchen Whitmer.
Right.
There's also some that have Michelle Obama.
Yeah.
Those are sort of the big names that are in there.
Do those become the surrogacy candidates out there on the trail, and you keep Biden at the head of the ticket?
The Biden campaign has been using surrogates for months. The Biden White House has been using surrogates for its public communication for months, and really the past year or two, where Joe Biden has kind of gone into the background of his public communication. So it would be a continuation of this strategy. I think the big thing that we saw last night is, you have moments where Joe Biden does better. In some more scripted moments, and you have moments like debates where he traditionally has not done the greatest. And what we've seen is, even over the past 4 years, he continues to do worse in these types of formats.
Does this not also create a lane for Trump to now say whatever he wants? If you keep Biden there, all the attention is focused on his decline and not fact-checking Donald Trump and what he's saying? Is there a danger there that this sort of distracts everyone from, okay, but what Trump said wasn't exactly true?
Right. Yeah, I think you have a concern that, Donald Trump was in his own debate reality. You look at, independent fact checkers saying he outright lied 25, 30 times in the debate. The challenge for the Democrats, and this is one of the key things in a campaign, you never want to step on your message. You never want to be able to say we are pushing back against our own message. And the key thing is, if the Democrats want to be able to say that they're prosecuting the case against Donald Trump, they're trying to defend democracy and save democracy, can they do that with Joe Biden as their standard bearer?
The real problem is debates are designed to really reach people who are on the fence or undecided. And when you look at last night's performance of both candidates, it's going to be a hard sell to get a lot of those people to even turn out to vote.
Well, it seems like this is now becoming okay, forget about the candidates. This is party versus party, message versus message, our ideas versus their ideas. That just seems, I don't know what the word is, just sort of not almost counterintuitive to how we're supposed to view elections, that there is a person who represents the party that you buy into, that you invest in. You are not investing in a group of people behind the scenes.
The problem is more and more people now, particularly the younger demographics, are not party-centric. Yeah. They're issue-centric.
Also, and I got 20 seconds left, do they need to just be honest about this and say, look, there's something going on with him, so, don't vote in that context, but vote on your interests? I don't think we
can know at this table what is actually going on. And that, I think, is the key thing in terms of president's health, fitness, those types of things. All we know is that perception is reality in politics.
All right, Joshua Scacco and Dr. Susan MacManus, stay with us. We got more to talk about. Florida issues coming up. It's still to come on Full Circle Florida. Despite the debate, voters are not all on board with Donald Trump. And did moderates just send a message? Rick Klein joins me next.